You just got your asses whipped by a bunch of goddamn nerds. Nerds!
Hello again, welcome back. Today, as you can see, with all the emblems on t-shirts and on backgrounds and color schemes on backgrounds, we are celebrating April 18th is the anniversary of when Superman was first published back in 1938. So, and this seems to be a bigger year for Superman, being that Summer of Superman, there's a new Superman movie coming out this year. Um, this one from James Gunn. The last one we got was Henry Cavill from Zack Snyder. Wasn't well received. I personally don't understand why, but there's a lot of people who weren't really happy with that iteration of the character. He didn't get a second movie. We only got to really see him flourish on a director's cut, and we were lucky to get that. But this year, James Gunn is giving his own take on Superman, and it seems like a lot of directors see a character that they would love to give their own take on. And we know him from Guardians of the Galaxy and the trilogy that kind of brought them to the forefront because they weren't A-list superheroes and they're kind of like mainstream now. Because and I would say because of him, because he's the one who decided to take on that project and give us three great movies. And the last Superman didn't even get two, and Guardians of the Galaxy got a trilogy. Just let that sink in. But we're here celebrating Superman on Superman Day. And again, it seems like this is the summer of Superman. We got Fantastic Four coming out a week after that, but and not to take anything away from Fantastic Four, but Superman is iconic. He just is. His emblem, his logo, has got to be the most popular superhero logo out there. I don't think anyone comes close to that. You see tattoos, you see it everywhere. License plates, you see it everywhere. So I'll go just based off, I remember seeing Superman. That was one of the first movies I remember seeing in the movie theater was Superman. And we all kind of know our ages. We were really pups at that time when that movie came out. And it was amazing to see. What I knew from Superman was just Super Friends. That's the only thing I knew, and the comic books I had. And now we're seeing this dude in live action. It was mind blowing for me at that time, and just to see what he is now. Seeing, like I said before, that emblem is just iconic, and where you can kind of see it everywhere in different ways, on a T-shirt, on somebody's car, you name it, you may see it. And so I'll go to Cole first. Your thoughts on the Big Blue Boy Scout?
What is that?
That is one of his nicknames, one of his many nicknames.
Uh, my thought on the Big Blue Boy Scout. I think you said it best. Superman is iconic. The reason his symbols are all over the place is because it represents hope, um, trust, love, and anything positive. So with the nickname, I think the nickname's whack. I think they could do better than that. But Superman as a character, I think he represents a lot.
Well, it's one of the nicknames that he has.
Give me another one.
Last son of Krypton,
I like that. I like that. I
the
like the
man of
last.
tomorrow, and of course the man of steel.
I think the last son of Krypton hits more for me. I don't like the last boys, the Blue Boy Scout, but The last son of Krypton because it represents something very deeply. Excuse me. But
I love it.
yeah, when it comes to his nicknames, I think they're cool. You know, Man of Steel has his own. He's his own character because I do remember with the death of Superman, then these other four Supermen came kind of to like cover him. And Man of Steel was not only his nickname, but there was a character called Man of Steel. So just the nicknames alone for me will be the last son of Krypton. I like that one the best, even though it's long, but is really dope because it's true to his character.
So, Booba,
Yes, sir.
your thoughts on the Man of Tomorrow?
He is the man of tomorrow because of what he is. I mean, he's everything that anybody would want to be. So I'm okay with the nickname Man of Tomorrow. My favorite is actually his real name. I think his name is so dope. But the Man of Tomorrow is exactly what he is. He's exactly what we always want to be and look forward to, right? So that makes all the sense in the world. I love the fact that we're having this conversation because Superman means so much to so many different people and means different things, of course, to different people. Even from a Boy Scout, an American Boy Scout in a sense. But the Man of Tomorrow makes absolute sense because he is what we wake up and try to become a Superman for the most part tomorrow, the next day. So I'm okay with that nickname 100%.
He's like, it's a good thing you brought up his real name, Kal-El. Nicolas Cage named his son that.
That's wild.
And we all know, and let me not say all of us. I know all of us here do know there was a time when Nicolas Cage almost played Superman in a Tim Burton movie. There's a documentary about it. So a documentary about a movie that didn't even get made says a lot. But yeah, Kal-El, and I'm sure, and that's the only one I know about, but I'm sure there are other people who have taken to that name because you're not the first person I've heard say that they love that name. It is a cool name. But this how excited are you for this Superman coming out this year? Is it just another, oh God, it's another Superman movie, or do you think this is going to be something completely different from what we grew up on and what we've gotten recently? Cole.
I was hoping you came to me. Love that question. So let me break it down to you guys. Christopher Reeves played Superman extremely well, and that would always be my Superman. It was made when I was in diapers. I ended up getting to see that movie, and it hit so hard. Then after a while, we haven't seen Superman. Well, and you get the Man of Steel. And I thought the Man of Steel was great. And I was happy to actually see a Superman movie told differently, right? Am I excited for this movie? I'm saying it right here on our platform that this is by far the most anticipated movie for Cole, the kid at heart, even if Fantastic Four is coming out. Even if Thunderbolts is coming out, even if Captain America is coming out, this Superman movie and the one trailer that I saw just blew my mind to, I am so curious and so excited to see what's going to happen in this movie. So by far, let them keep coming out with them. And with this one, like you broke it down, Pete, with James Gunn, you can only imagine how his interpretation of Superman is going to be. This is by far my most anticipated movie for the year 2025.
So, Bubba, a lot of people, what did you think about Henry Cavill as Superman?
No, I think Henry Cavill nailed it. Like the Man of Steel movie was, and I'm very critical of movies. Both of you guys know that. I'll find the little piece that bothers me the most and yell from the hilltops from just to make sure people listen to me. But Henry Cavill was a great, great Superman. I remember getting goosebumps just seeing Henry Cavill in the Shazam movie. Not the Shazam movie, the
Black Adam.
Black Adam movie. When he came down and you saw Black Adam and Superman, like, whoa. Like, the fact that we got nothing out of it sucks, of course. But I thought Henry Cavill was good. While Christopher Reeves is my Superman as well, I loved Dean Cain in the Lois and Clark series. I love when he played Superman. I love that show. Like Lois and Clark, I think was very underrated for the most part.
Yeah, good point, Poola.
In the sense of Superman, Henry Cavill is probably number 4. Because I need to give it to Tom Welling when he did it in Smallville. He did a great job on Smallville as well. So I'm not going to take that. Henry Cavill's number 4 on my list when it comes to Superman. That's just me kind of playing it. I was too young for George Reeves or some the other stuff. But going to back what you said, I do remember that Nicolas Cage did play Superman as a voiceover in Teen Titans Go. So he did get to play Superman in some sort of way.
And he was a cameo in the Flash movie when he was kind of, going through time. They did show Nicolas Cage as Superman. And that they showed the spider in the background, which if you see the documentary, the producer insisted on having a giant spider fight Superman for some reason. But I'm, for one, I'm glad that movie never came out. So but since we're talking about, Booba, it's good that you brought up Tom Welling, you brought up Dean Cain. Let's not forget about the show Lois and Clark. A lot of people have said that's actually a really good show, and the guy who plays his name escapes me right now. I think it's Tyler. I can't get his last name right now, but they say that he really does a good job playing both Clark Kent and Superman. And Brandon Routh, who played him in Superman Returns. It only got one movie. That was right before Henry Cavill.
Can I just say, he jumped into the Flash series, and he ended up playing Superman for a Crisis on Earth episode for the Flash series that came out on television.
And which was weird, now that you bring that up, was weird because he played the Atom in that series as well. So there's a number. It's tough for me to rank them. Obviously the GOAT of and the original is the original would be George Reeves, like Pooba said, but I think the one that we all kind of relate to because that movie came out when we were kids is Christopher Reeve. Christopher Reeve, yeah, he's kind of like, he kind of embodies him, and you see all the different Superman emblems behind Cole. Seems like every movie we get now, they're changing the emblem. I mean, Pooba and I got the kind of the more classic one that I guess is
the more well-known one for sure.
Exactly. The most popular one I would say. But yeah, if you could see behind Cole, there's at least there's 20 behind him. And some of them are just because over time they've gotten a redesign, and some directors have gotten their hands on the property to do their own movie, and they've again, same way they're putting their own take on their movie on the movie and on the story, they're redesigning the suit, they're redesigning the logo. Now we've had internal conversations about rogues galleries, and a rogues gallery is the enemies of said hero. So we're talking about Superman now. And we hear about Batman and Spider-Man that they have these very deep rogue galleries. The roster is insanely deep. They have and they're different. They got a lot of different flavors. But Superman to me is no slouch. But his main antagonist would be Lex Luthor, who's just he's a regular man.
I
It's
think
not
that's
someone,
cool.
yeah, it's not
He got no
someone, yeah,
superpowers.
it's not someone who can go toe to toe with him. So if it wasn't for Lex Luthor, I'm going up Pua. Who is who would you put number one if Lex Luthor is not part of the conversation?
Oh, for me would be a coin toss between Darkseid and Brainiac. Um, and I do like Darkseid because it's the only time you get to see Superman let loose. That's the only reason why I would want Darkseid to be number two, because Brainiac's gonna throw a lot of different things at Superman, but Darkseid's gonna go fist to fist, blow to blow with Superman. I think that makes more for a riveting rivalry or a nemesis in that sense, where we don't know Superman for his intelligence, right? We lean on Batman for that, but if we're ever in a pinch, you know how we put it, and this will be a baseball reference again for the nerds: bases loaded, 2 outs, 3 balls, 2 strikes. Well, who would you want at the plate, Batman or Superman? And yeah, it's gonna be Superman 100% of the time. So and that's because he's so powerful. So to pick a villain that's gonna be able to allow to see this superhero, the one we want to see at the plate in this sense, and the pitcher, if it's a pitcher, Darkseid versus Superman at the plate, give me that any day of the week.
So this one's for Cole.
Oh, can I chime in on that question?
No,
Okay.
no. I'm running point here.
Copy that.
You got another question. No, go ahead.
Because I kind of want to surprise everyone. And Pete, you know me. You know I'm going to come with something completely different. I was thinking Darkseid as well, but of course, my Poopa just broke it down for you guys. My brother Poop. For me, it's Mitsuplex. I think he is by far the enemy that is the most dangerous to Superman, because Superman is vulnerable to kryptonite. He's practically vulnerable to, he's not vulnerable to anything but kryptonite, magic, and he has magic, and you have to trick him into saying his name backwards in order to defeat him. You know how difficult that is? But I just wanted to say that, fams.
Well, the thing for me is, of course, like we brought up Lex Luthor, and he's and I'll get back to your question, Cole, after
Yeah,
this.
yeah, no problem.
We bring up Lex Luthor, and he's human. He has no powers, but of course he's a genius. He has a genius intellect, and he's I guess that's the way he can match wits with him. But one thing I like about Superman's rogue gallery is he's got his guys like, that he can, and they're done. He's got the Toy Man, people like that who he can pretty much, get rid of without breaking a sweat. But then he's got heavy hitters that he can really that can go toe to toe with Superman. You got Lobo, you got Metallo, you got Bizarro, and yeah, we got Darkseid and Mongol as well. Let's not forget about Mongol.
Mm-hmm.
He's definitely there. There are definitely some heavy hitters who can go toe to toe with him. Which, like I said, I don't like to leave him out of that rogue gallery conversation because I think his is impressive as well. So this year's the summer of Superman, but let's not forget about Supergirl. She's rumored to be in the movie. I don't know if it's a cameo. I don't know how big a part she has in the movie, but she has her own movie coming out next year. They're filming that now. So
Has a nice budget too.
hey, James Gunn is heading up DC, and he's bringing out all the stops. We can get into a conversation about what he's got coming up, but for next year he's got Supergirl coming out, and and Lobo, played by Jason Momoa, is in that movie. So my question is this: do you remember there have been a couple of actresses who have played Supergirl? Do you know the first?
I don't.
Oh,
So all I have to do to get Cole to know the answer is say 3 words. Fair is fair.
Oh, well, okay. I know the movie,
So
but the main actress,
she's played Supergirl.
Billie Jean herself.
Yes. Helen Slater played Supergirl.
Oh, awesome.
And this was riding the wave of the popularity of the Christopher Reeve movies, and then they made a Supergirl movie. I'm gonna be quite honest, I didn't see that movie.
Yeah,
I don't know if you guys did.
No,
I
did
did.
not, people.
I did. I have to admit that I did. Do I
I didn't even
remember
know it was out.
Yeah, there was a Supergirl movie back again when we were growing up. Helen Slater, and yeah, she played Supergirl. Billie Jean herself played Supergirl.
I can see that because she was amazing in Billie Jean.
I don't know if that's an underrated movie. Did you see that, Puma? Billie Jean, The Legend of Billie Jean.
The Legend of Billie Jean? No,
Oh.
did not see that movie.
Okay, so
Did not see that movie, but just added it to the list.
look, we've both seen it, and it's one of those. I wouldn't say it's underrated, but it's one of those.
It's powerful.
It probably got a lot of it probably got more popular after it went out. It was released on video, and people saw it after that. So I'll say one more thing. What are you hoping to see in this movie this summer, Pooba? Which for me is I can't wait to see it. This is something like the same as Cole, highly anticipated. I really want to see this. I hope they deliver. So I'm gonna ask you, Pooba, what are you hoping to see in this movie?
Well, I'll say happy April 18th, happy Superman's Day, so that people who celebrate Superman understand that he deserves all the accolades and the love that he deserves. What I'm looking for is the kind of the same thing that we've always looked for. We want to see Superman at his full power. We want to see Superman also at his weakest, because that's the one thing about Superman that we love, that he's the biggest comeback story ever in history. And I think what I want to see is an introduction into James Gunn's world, in a sense of a movie for James Gunn to do Superman, who's been done again. We can name at least 10 actors that have played Superman, which is crazy to think of how powerful this guy is. That so many people want to play him, and so many actors want to portray him. Even directors want to direct these type of movies, and they always have a different vision for him. And the one thing that I'm looking for is what we got in the first movie, where we got a little bit of laughter, and we got love story between Clark and Lois. We fear for our hero. We understand. We have sympathy for our hero. We want to see him rock out, right? And just that type of story that gives you a roller coaster ride, where I think Christopher Reeves in those movies that came out, at least the first and the second one with Christopher Reeves, you never rooted for anybody so hard that more than Superman, because he's just exactly what they call him, a Boy Scout. He's a Boy Scout that has powers beyond measure. And for the most part, we've talked it consistently on this channel, where power can consume someone to be more on a darker side. It's this is the guy that doesn't turn over. This is the guy that you completely always want to root for. So I'm looking for a roller coaster ride of ooh, into this movie that we got in Christopher Reeves. And it's asking for a lot, because unfortunately, as good as Henry Cavill was and Dean Cain and everybody else we mentioned today, it's the story that Christopher Reeves gave us and the way he portrayed Superman that delivered, and it's the GOAT. And it's just hard for anyone to sometimes enjoy a movie when you're comparing. I don't want to compare, but I do want to feel the things that I felt when I first saw Christopher Reeves on the silver screen.
So Cole, being that, and now April's gone, but she said, I'm enough of this. I'm out. I'm gonna do my own thing. But Krypto. Probably the only time we've seen Krypto has been in that movie Super Pets with The Rock and was it Kevin Hart, I think, right?
No. Krypto was in Titans, the HBO Max show.
Oh, that's right.
He was dope on that. Stop. Krypto was really good in that.
I'm not talking that my reaction is not towards Krypto, it's towards the show.
Super Pets was dope. I saw
Okay.
it probably
Underrated.
like 3 times.
Underrated.
So-
Underrated.
What, Super Pets?
Yeah, it's
Absolutely
underrated.
not.
I don't think it was given the accolades that it should have. That's me personally.
Nah, I disagree. I thought it was. I think
I'm
it did.
agreeing with you. I think it's amazing. I don't think
didn't-
it got the props that it deserves.
Well, so how do you feel about Krypto being in the movie?
I'm excited. I mean, I'm a dog lover to begin with, so let's start with that. And when I saw the trailer and I saw Krypto in there, actually that made the entire trailer for me. It was just loving, man. I couldn't believe that he was going to. Now I'm seeing him in live action. Like I said prior, I saw Super Pets. Super Pets was great. Yes, Kevin Hart and Dwayne The Rock Johnson. The story was awesome. Everything about it was like spot on when it came to Superman being a dog, right? I think it's cool, man. I think it's really dope. So just seeing Krypto was exciting. I'm trying not to see more of that scene because I want to see it when it first comes out.
Yeah, it's good that you touched on that. I'm not a trailer. I'll watch the teaser when a big movie comes out. If I really care about the movie, I'm shutting it down until I sit down in the movie theater. I don't want to see the second, third, and fourth trailers because then it's like, what am I going to see in the movie? And it happened, and it has to deal with. I learned I changed to this, and it's a Superman movie, Batman versus Superman, and I'm a Batman fan, but one of the coolest scenes in the movie, and probably that I've ever seen, because I just thought it was well done, was Batman fighting the warehouse. And I saw that in the trailer, and I was like, why did they show this? So ever since then, I will watch a teaser, and that will be it. Because I'm not trying, I want to enjoy the movie and not say, oh yeah, you know what, I saw that in the trailer. That to me just it kills everything. But it's not off topic, but kind of, because I did learn it from a Superman movie. But guys, this is a first for us to kind of highlight just one character on a show.
And what better character than Superman himself, the
And
most iconic superhero of all time?
Exactly. I think that's well said, is that he's an icon. He is an icon. Everybody knows who Superman is. And we celebrate the day that it was first published, and he's coming out with a new movie in July. And get out there and see it. I hope everybody enjoys it. And we'll be here to cover it and talk about it after we've seen it, though, not before. So that's why we put the review and we put the spoilers in the title, because we're going to talk about what we saw already. But for anything else from you, Pua, about Superman?
No, just shout out to Shaquille O'Neal, who I know is a big Superman fan. I know that he he has a tattoo logo on there. He recently did a bit with the people with Superman. So shout out to Shaquille O'Neal, one of my favorite basketball players and people of all time. And then I'll just say that for the most part is, be super people. It's April 18th. Do good. Hector Ayala's voice. Do the right thing today. Be someone's hero today. And let's make this a good day to remember. That's all I got.
Go.
Look up in the sky. It's a bird. It's a plane. No, it's Superman.
On that note, guys, that is it for us covering. And she's back. You're late.
That's not Krypto.
You missed the good
That's not
part.
Shout
We
out
should
to
watch
all
it again.
dogs. Shout out to all dogs, man. Adopt your dog.
She'll watch it when we put it out on YouTube. But guys, for myself, Booba, and Cole, thank you, and we will return.
The worst episode ever.